games happen on Monday, February 6th. The first game is the Celtics beat the Detroit Pistons 111-99. The Celtics were favored by 11.5 points and they end up winning by 12. Jason Tatum played 39 minutes because Jaylen Brown was out. There were some rumors that he might get traded. He's linked to KD. We'll see what happens. The trade deadline is in 3 days. So, if you only have 3 or 4 waiver wire ads, you want to hold on to them till the trade deadline. You might be making some moves. Tatum played well. Yeah, Robert Williams and Al Horford started together. 33 minutes for Al Horford, didn't do anything. He's still a hold. Robert Williams played 29 minutes. A huge game, 15 rebounds, 2 steals and a block. He's just amazing if he gets 30 minutes. Sam Hauser started out of nowhere, not fantasy relevant at all. And Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon both played okay. Brogdon had 2 blocks. I think with Smart out, Derek White is a must roster and Malcolm Brogdon is a good streamer. For Detroit, Alec Burks only played 18 minutes. Kaden Hayes was only getting 19, so we'll see what happens at the trade deadline. If nobody gets traded and Kaden Hayes only gets 20 to 25 minutes a game, then he's a drop. Right? Let's just wait till the trade deadline. Jaden Ivey, of course, didn't shoot the ball well, struggled from the free throw line as well. And Jalen Duren grabbed 14 rebounds in 20 minutes, but that's all he did. He still is a must roster, and Isaiah. The minutes are all over the place. Isaiah Stewart, sometimes he plays 25, sometimes he plays 31, sometimes he plays 22. He grabbed 12 rebounds here, which is great. Missed all 7 threes. Bogdanovic has 21 points. Bogdanovic also might get traded. So a lot of things could be happening on this team. Just keep an eye out. Like if Alec Burks end up getting traded, then I think it's a no-brainer. We have to roster Killian Hayes rest of the way. He become a must roster. Or if Bogdanovic gets traded, right? Saddiq Bey coming play 30 minutes a night. The next game is the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Wizards 114-91. Donovan Mitchell, he has not been good. Only 20 minutes. This game was a blowout. Only 21 points and 3 threes. Darius Garland, 23 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals. They're also blowing teams out. The Cavaliers has been fairly good in the regular season this year at least. They're the 4th seed right now. They won 3 straight. Jarrett Allen and Mobley each had 2 blocks, played okay. And Isaac Okoro, after scoring 20, he still played well, had 12 points. Not really fantasy relevant. On this team, really not much going on. Other than Donovan Mitchell not playing up to what he was beginning of the season. For the Washington Wizards, of course, Bradley Beal is out. After 3 or 4 good seasons of not missing games, Bradley Beal is just in and out of the lineup this year. What are you going to do? This is a blowout, so all the minutes is pretty low. I think with Bradley Beal out, Danny Advia is a good streamer. Also, Kyle Kuzma is out too, so Danny Advia is a no-brainer streaming option. Porzingis had 1 block, 18 points. Porzingis has been really healthy and playing really well this year. And Daniel Gafford, I think he's a must roster as well. 24 minutes with 3 blocks. In category leagues, he's pretty valuable. If you're looking for blocks, field goal, and rebounds. The next game, the LA Clippers beat Brooklyn 124-116. Brooklyn right now don't have anybody other than Cam Thomas. He's a really good stream at the moment. 47 points, which we will get to. But Kawhi Leonard and Paul George both played well. Zubac did his thing. Norman Powell is a must roster. Another 30 minutes. Another 30 minutes. Had 14 points, but it could go away. Luke Kennard might come in, play well, and then Luke Kennard takes his minutes, or Reggie Jackson. The Clippers got a lot of guys, and also John Wall is out at the moment. So, just enjoy Norman Powell while you can. Try to sell him if you can. And for the Brooklyn Nets, Cam Thomas needs to be streamed until KD comes back. And Claxton continues to be amazing. 2 steals and 3 blocks and 16 rebounds. Ben Simmons is also out. I think, if Ben Simmons is playing sometimes, the Nets going to go small toward the end of the games. So Claxton may not play 35 minutes. He's kind of a liability. It's going to happen in the playoffs where, his free throw shooting and his spacing might be a problem versus certain teams. And I don't know how good his perimeter defense is. Is he going to get cooked out there if they switch him? Edmund Sumner, also a streaming option at the moment. because he's starting, he gets enough minutes. Royce O'Neal, with all the guys in and out, he's still getting 35 minutes, so we should continue rostering him. But Cam Thomas and Midsummer in the short term need to be picked up. The booklets is a mess. The next game, the Spurs lost to the Bulls 104-128. Keldon Johnson, Josh Richardson. Josh Richardson is a streaming option at the moment with Trey Jones out and with Devin Vassell out as well. He played 31 minutes, had 4 steals. Keldon Johnson did his thing. Pirtle continues to. Well, this is an okay game. 9 rebounds and 2 blocks. But the Spurs, not a lot of fantasy relevancy stuff going on because Popovich does not play a guy huge minutes, and a lot of times like Zach Collins is taking minutes away from Pirtle. So not a lot of things to talk about for the Spurs, and they also lost by 24. For the Bulls, Zach LaVine had 20 points. DeRozan had 19. Vucevic had a decent game with a 22 and 12 rebounds performance. And did Patrick Williams get hurt? He only played 18 minutes because Kobe White had it going. Patrick Williams is a guy that you could have at the end of your bench. He's not hurting you anywhere. He's fairly efficient, can get you some defensive stats. But he's not a must roster. You could stream him for defensive stats mainly. The next game, the Sacramento Kings dropped 140 points on the Rockets. It shouldn't be a surprise when you're playing the Rockets. De'Aaron Fox, 16 points, 8 assists, 2 steals and blocks, a bonus, a double-double with 10 assists and only 7 rebounds. I mean, this game is what stands out is Keegan Murray had a huge game, 30 points. He is not a must roster. I think in the playoffs, he's somebody you could definitely think about dropping. But this is a good game, and Harrison Barnes had just 9 points. Kevin Huerter did his thing, hit 2 threes. Malik Monk came off the bench, had 20 points. Like all these guys, they are really, for the case, Malik Monk is the only guy that have any streaming value. And Harrison Barnes, of course, if he's not rostered already. For the Rockets, Kenyon Martin Jr. is an absolutely must roster, but I think lately he hasn't been getting a lot of defensive stats, which is disappointing. But 18 and 8 with 2 threes, 8 for 10 from the field is really, really good anyway. Jabari Smith cannot shoot over 40%. And Taro Eason is a way better fantasy player. So if Jabari Smith ends up missing some time, Taro Eason will be a good, really good streaming option. And Prochenko, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, made his free throws. Not bad. And Jalen Gray finally had an okay, decent game. Who hit 5 threes, 2 steals, 27 points. Hopefully he can turn things around after All-Star break, like he did last year. Because so far he's been horrible this year, efficiency-wise, especially. Putting up numbers, I mean 20 points and 2.5 threes, but everything else is pretty garbage. The next game, the Dallas Mavericks, without this is an interesting game. Without anybody, really. Luka, Kyrie, Tim Hardaway Jr. had 17 points. Josh Green is the one who went off, 29 points with 3 threes. Pretty good. Reggie Bullock hit 3 threes. They only shot 38%. How did they win this game? Well, the Jazz just couldn't hit any shot at home last night. So with all the trades going on, I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is a guy that we could roster and see what happens. Or Reggie Bullock. I like Tim Hardaway Jr. more than Reggie Bullock. It depends on who's going to get more minutes, to be honest. If Hardaway can get 33 minutes a night, I think he become kind of a must roster. Now that Dorian Finney-Smith is gone. And playing with Kyrie and Luka, you should have a lot of open looks. Open looks on threes. He got off there 7 threes here. The big thing is Christian Wood is back. He's going to take some time to ramp up. But it'll be interesting to see how Luka and Kyrie are going to work out. We might need to wait for a few days. For the Jazz, Lauri Markkanen still play well. 19.7 rebounds with 2 steals and a block. Kelly Olynyk, I don't think he's a must roster. He came back, played 20 minutes. You know, when you play next to Kessler, you're not going to get a lot of rebounds. You're not going to get a lot of blocks if you're the power forward. So I don't think he's a must roster, but it's fine if you have him. Kessler, great, absolutely must roster. 9 rebounds and still 3 blocks. It continues to dominate. And Jordan Clarkson is putting up some scoring numbers, 26 points, and Mike Conley with 11 assists. That's all he'd give you. That's all he gives you. And if you have Malik Beasley and Colin Sexton for streaming options, Once all the guys back and healthy, I don't think there's any point holding on to any of them. All right, let's go to the next game. We got two more games. The Warriors blow out the Oklahoma City Thunder 141-114. Shea, just 29 minutes. Crazy he didn't get a single rebound. A pretty bad game from Shea, but come on. He's been down. Can't complain too much. Jalen Williams had 3 steals and a block. That's pretty good, but struggled from the free throw line. Jalen Williams started play 20 minutes. Yeah, the Thunder center's position is revolving door. Sometimes Isaiah Joe comes in. Sometimes Kendrick Williams. Sorry, Isaiah Joe is not a center, is he? He's not. Sorry, he's a guard. Sometimes Kendrick Williams, who's a forward. Sometimes Mike Muscala is at the center spot. Sometimes Jalen Williams. And Pokusevski will be back eventually as well. So it will be interesting to see. Aaron Wiggins has been getting huge minutes. I don't think he's really fantasy relevant. Josh Giddey, in 28 minutes, played well. A steal and a block. But, of course, he had 4 turnovers. Who's another guy been pretty disappointing. Although he's been pretty good lately. And for the Warriors, no Steph, no problem. Clay dropped 42 points. So he took all the usage. Wiggins chipped in 18. Jordan Poole had 12 assists as well. So it's Jordan Poole is really going to have a good time with Steph out. So if you have Poole, I think, he's going to be really good down the stretch. Averaging 25 points, I can see him do that. Draymond Green added some defensive stats and started at the center. That's pretty good. And DiVincenzo and Kuminga are the 2 guys that we could look to stream with Steph out. I prefer DiVincenzo more. Kuminga doesn't really get a lot of defensive stats, even though he's a crazy good athlete. The last game of the night, the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee and Portland. Milwaukee scored 127 points on them. Giannis, easy work, 24 points, 13 rebounds in just 23 minutes. Yeah, they need to rest him. They played Lopez and Drew Holiday over 30 minutes. Both play well. I mean, this Portland team, I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't know if they're making any moves by the trade deadline. But, you lose 20 points to the Bucks at home. So if Damian Lillard doesn't score 40, you don't really have a shot versus some top tier teams. Jeremy Grant is looking for a big contract, put up 13 points and 2 blocks, not much going on. Really, Drew Eubanks is a must roster with Yusuf Nurkic out. Whenever he's back, then we could drop him. Fernie Simons played okay, and Damian Lillard had 28 points, 12 from the free throw. Yeah, I mean, this Portland team, they might have some trades going on, but it wouldn't benefit really anybody on the team for the moment. I don't think. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.